Introduce yourself. Are you nervous? The interview will last for 2 hours and have video recorded. Hi, my name is Ben. I've been working as a carpenter for over 8 years. I have experience in cabinet making, furniture, and shop renovation. Thank you for your spent time to my interview. I'm a bit nervous, but ready to share my experience and skills. How long have you been doing the job? I have been working as a carpenter for 8 years. During this time, I've worked on many residential and commercial projects. Tell us about your daily duties at work. How is your normal day at work? My daily duties at work include preparing files and operating the CNC machine, measuring and cutting materials accurately, assembling parts, and installing cabinets or shelves. I also make sure the workplace is always clean, organized, and follow safety procedures. What to do at your workplace when you first arrive? Who assigns orders to you? How did you know how to do things at a job site? When I arrive at work, I first check the schedule for the day. If not, I follow the project plan provided. Before starting any task, I review the necessary tools and materials to ensure everything is prepared. Usually, our team discusses the tasks during a brief meeting at the office. How do you handle the conflict with customers and suppliers? I listen carefully to their concerns and stay calm. I try to understand their needs and find a solution that works for both sides. If needed, I report to the supervisor. How do you manage the workplace? How to keep well with coworker. I always keep my workspace clean and organized. I respect my coworkers, communicate clearly, and help each other to finish the job smoothly. What do you do if a coworker does something aggressive towards you? I stay calm and avoid arguing. I report the issue to the supervisor and follow the company policy for handling conflicts. How do you train new employees? I explain the task step by step, show how to use tools safely, and guide them through the process. I also check their work and give feedback. What do you do when receiving materials? I check the delivery note, count and inspect the materials for damage or quality. I report any issues to the supervisor. What do you check on the product after you finish a carpentry work? If there is an error, how do you correct it? I check measurements, joints, surface finish, and stability. If there's an error, I fix it immediately and report to the supervisor if needed. Do you know how to use a cutting machine, woodworking lathe, CNC machine, scroll saw? Yes, I can operate table saw, bandsaw, CNC router, lathe machine, and other power tools. I always follow safety procedures while using them. I first prepare the design file using CorelDRAW and ArtCam. Then I load the materials onto the machine bed and set the origin point. After that, I upload the G-code into the computer, check the toolpath, and ensure all safety measures are in place. Once everything is ready, I start the machine and monitor the process carefully to ensure precision and quality. The key is secure the materials firmly and set the coordinates accurately. What are the hazards? How do you manage them? In carpentry, there are several hazards that we need to be aware of. These include 1. Sharp tools and machinery. 2. Dust and noise. Heavy lifting. 4. Electricity. 5. Slips, trips. To manage these hazards, I always wear proper personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses, gloves, ear protection, and a dust mask. I also make sure to keep my workspace clean and organized, follow all safety procedures, and regularly inspect my tools and equipment before use. If you have injuries, accidents, what are you going to do? How to report an accident if it happened? I stop working immediately, give first aid if needed, and report the accident to the supervisor or safety officer as soon as possible. How do you ensure safety procedures are followed? I follow all safety rules, wear protective gear, check tools regularly, and keep my workspace organized. I also remind others to follow safety rules. How do you install a wooden door? First, I measure the door frame carefully to ensure the door will fit correctly. Then I place the hinges on the door and mark their positions on the frame. I use a chisel to mortise the hinge slots and fix the hinges using screws. After that, I hang the door, check the alignment, and make necessary adjustments. Finally, I install the handle and lock set. Can you explain the process of making a cabinet? I start by reviewing the design or blueprint. Then I select the appropriate materials and cut them according to measurements. After that, I assemble the main frame using joints and screws, attach the back panel, install doors and shelves, then sand and finish the surface. I always make sure everything is level and square. How do you install wooden flooring? First, I prepare the subfloor by cleaning and leveling it. Then I lay down underlayment if needed. I start laying floorboards from one corner using spacers to maintain expansion gaps. I use a flooring nailer or adhesive depending on the type of flooring. Finally, I install the baseboards. How long have you been working as a carpenter? I have been working as a carpenter for 8 years. During this time, I have gained experience in various aspects of carpentry, including cabinet making, furniture, and working on custom projects like shop renovations. What types of wood or materials have you worked with? I work with various materials such as natural wood, including pine, oak, and maple. I also work with industrial wood like HDF, MDF, and composite materials. In recent years, I have also combined wood with resin for customized designs. Do you have experience reading technical drawings or blueprints? Yes, I can read and interpret blueprints. I use them to take accurate measurements, determine material requirements, and understand the project's specifications to ensure everything is built correctly. Are you comfortable using power tools such as saws and drills? Yes, I am experienced in using various power tools, including circular saws, drills, routers, and sanders. I always prioritize safety when handling tools. How do you ensure accurate measurements and cuts? Before cutting any materials, I always take time to carefully read the blueprint to determine accurate measurements. Then I measure and double-check my measurements. I also mark clearly on the materials and use the appropriate tools to ensure precise cuts. What safety precautions do you take when working with hand tools and machinery? I always wear proper protective gear, such as safety glasses, gloves, and ear protection. Additionally, I ensure that all tools are in good condition and follow workplace safety guidelines. What would you do if a customer is not satisfied with your work? I would listen to the customer's concerns carefully and try to understand the issue. If possible, I would make adjustments or repairs to meet their ideas or expectations while maintaining quality and safety standards. If you find an error in the project design, how would you handle it? I would first review the blueprint and double-check my work. If I confirm an issue, I would discuss it with the supervisor or project manager to find the best solution before proceeding. What would you do if your work was delayed due to a shortage of materials? I would inform my supervisor about the issue and look for alternative solutions, such as adjusting the work schedule or using available materials efficiently until the required supplies arrive. Have you worked in a team before? How do you collaborate with others? Yes, I have worked in teams on many projects. I believe good communication and coordination are essential. I always ensure that tasks are divided efficiently and help my colleagues when needed. Why did you choose to become a carpenter? I have always enjoyed working with my hands and building things. Carpentry allows me to be creative while also providing practical solutions in construction. How do you see your career developing in this industry? I hope to continue improving my skills and take on more complex projects. In the future, I would like to specialize in high-end furniture making or even start my own carpentry business. What do you enjoy most about being a carpenter? I enjoy seeing the results of my work, whether it's a large construction, a beautiful piece of furniture, or a small handcrafted gift. It really inspires me. This motivation keeps me focused and encourages me to improve my skills. How do you install a wooden door? First, I measure the door frame carefully to ensure the door fits correctly. Then I position the hinges on the door and mark their placement on the frame. I use a chisel to mortise the hinge slots and secure the hinges with screws. After that, I hang the door, check the alignment, and make any necessary adjustments. Finally, I install the handle and lock set. 2. Can you explain the process of making a cabinet? I begin by reviewing the design or blueprint. Then I select suitable materials and cut them according to precise measurements. Next, I assemble the main frame using joints and screws, attach the back panel, install the doors and shelves, and finish by sanding the surfaces and applying the final finish. I always ensure the cabinet is level, square, and well finished. 3. How do you install wooden flooring? First, I prepare the subfloor by cleaning and leveling it. If needed, I install underlayment. Then I start laying the floorboards from one corner using spacers to maintain expansion gaps. I use a flooring nailer or adhesive depending on the type of flooring. Finally, I install the baseboards and clean the surface. 4. Have you ever fixed a mistake in a project? Explain how you handled it. Yes, once I cut a timber piece with incorrect measurements. I quickly realized the mistake, double-checked the blueprint, and adjusted the joint design to minimize material waste. This allowed me to fix the issue without delays and still meet the project's quality requirements. 5. Describe the most challenging project you've worked on. How did you overcome the obstacles? One of the most challenging projects I worked on had a very tight deadline because the contract was signed with the wrong completion date. To manage this, I carefully revised the task plan, coordinated closely with my coworkers, and we supported each other by working overtime when needed. Thanks to strong teamwork and time management, we completed the project on time without compromising quality. Hatter 6. How do you see your career developing in this industry? I am passionate about carpentry and always looking to improve my skills. My goal is to grow professionally, not only in my home country, but also by gaining international experience. I believe working abroad will help me learn advanced techniques, understand global standards, and contribute to high-quality projects. I'm open to learning and adapting in any professional environment. Number 7. What are the main differences in skills and techniques required for building kitchen cabinets compared to making small handcrafted products? I have experience in both large-scale furniture like kitchen cabinets and small handcrafted items. Building kitchen cabinets requires structural strength, accurate measurements, and machine operation, like using panel saws and edge banders. In contrast, small crafts demand more attention to fine detail and hand finishing techniques. I enjoy both because they allow me to combine precision, creativity, and practical skills. 8. Could you explain the procedure for painting wooden kitchen cabinets? The painting process includes surface sanding, applying a primer coat, sanding again, spraying the color coat, and finishing with a clear top coat for protection. Each step must be done carefully, so with appropriate drying time, to ensure a smooth, long-lasting finish. If you'd like, I can help you practice answering these out loud, or provide common follow-up questions related to each topic. Would you like that?